Choose concerning geeks. Choose listening to a podcast to try and get rid of your dreary day. Choose searching through YouTube for absolutely random videos to try and kill the boredom of your life, trying to dull that ache, trying to work out what exactly you're doing with your life. Choose concerning geeks. Welcome to this episode. We, of course, have our very first special guest. Now, you can put special in parentheses if you'd like, but let's just stick with the nice version. So, of course, we have, if you'd like to introduce yourself, talk to these fantastic listeners.
Hello. My name is Eamonn.
My name's Lionel Richie.
Hello, it's me.
Eamonn's our co-worker and friend.
Was co-worker.
Co-worker. That's a journey to the beautiful land of Spain to work on an olive farm.
Yep.
It's such a random job.
It's such a random job.
If you look at like his work history, going from working in a cinema to an olive farm, I think it's even weirder.
It gets even weirder when you think about I went from translating in a hospital to a cinema to an olive farm.
Translated in a hospital?
Yeah, Harrogate Hospital. Mandarin to English.
That is so cool.
You can speak Mandarin?
Yeah, that's
really
Why do I only just know this?
See, my whole life is just kind of full of random pot of just pointless skills.
It's like someone's written down a bunch of random anecdotes.
It's kind of like someone's trying to make a bizarre D&D character, and they're just like, yeah, he speaks Mandarin, he works in a bar, he's an olive farmer.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that'll do.
Can you say welcome to Concerning Geeks in Mandarin? On the spot.
Welcome to, Dajahao Concerning Geeks. Dajahao, that's hello everybody. So I suppose
that'll do. Yeah, it's not too bad.
You know, has this big thing recently with a lot of mainstream films pandering to Chinese audiences. This is us pandering to Chinese audiences.
You've got
trying to get that sick Chinese audience.
You've got one slight badly said hello everybody, and then we're there. That's what you need. Need.
All right, cool. So we have literally just come out of watching Trainspotting 2.
Or T2.
T2.
Am I right in thinking that T2 is also how Terminator 2
was? Judgment Day.
Yeah, because that was how it was advertised, wasn't it?
I was doing my film times, and obviously when it's on the screen, it's shortened down, and it said T2, and I was like, yeah, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, I was.
To be fair,
welcome to Terminator.
I think I think Terminator 2 is the best out of all the Terminators.
I agree.
It's my favourite.
We'll get onto this.
We're not talking about Terminator 2, as amazing as it is.
Can I start right at the top and say the most unneeded warning of any credit I've ever seen? Apart from Lord of the Rings, where it says these people are fictional characters.
Oh, really?
Right on the title card, it's Trainspotting 2. It said strong language, scenes of strong sex and drug misuse.
Yeah.
It's like, sound. Has anyone seen the first one?
It kind of goes beyond misuse, doesn't it?
Is it drug misuse? A little bit.
Yeah, so for the first section, which is usually films, we're actually just going to talk about Trainspotting. But
Trainspotting 2 is,
hopefully in the future, the movie section will be more talking about like upcoming films and that kind of stuff, and then the movie reviews will be their own separate video. But just because we've just seen
Trainspotting,
I think
and
T2 was incredible.
Yeah,
did you enjoy it?
I really enjoyed it. Danny Boyle. I love Danny Boyle. I don't think he's ever really put much of a step wrong.
Ooh.
I can't think of
I mean, in regards, because he's had such a long career, I think it's safe to say that he's he's one of the directors where it's just exciting to hear that he's thinking of making a movie, because you instantly start. The imagery in T2 was fantastic.
So for those who haven't seen it, like that, the way that the first Trainspotting was made, the thing that stands out is the cinematography. Like when I think of Trainspotting, that's genuinely the first thing that comes to mind. It's so fantastically shot, and this one just.
It's the
same.
And that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Did you notice there was a specific scene, which I won't spoil. We will have a spoiler section, but I'll put a little thing in the description so you know when to skip it if you haven't seen it yet. But there's a specific scene where there was points where it kept doing the freeze frame before it would cut to the next shot, and that was just like the first one, and I liked that kind of nostalgia in it. And actually, I kind of find that was like the overarching theme.
Should we do a quick synopsis for Trainspotting? So Mark comes back. I'm assuming everyone's seen the first one. Yeah. So he comes back after 20 years.
We could quickly, I suppose. I mean, it's after, because it's been so long now, a spoiler doesn't matter. At the end of the original Trainspotting, they do basically sell drugs, and they make 16k. But then, which they were supposed to split evenly, but then he steals it and leaves for Amsterdam for 20 years, and then returns.
Yeah, so they come back after 20 years.
One thing that really bothered me about that, though, is that, you know how I swear it's Mark that puts in, like, all of the money into buying the heroin in the first place? Like, he puts in $2,000.
No, he puts it... Oh,
because that whole thing where Begbie's like, I've seen your bank account.
No, they need fronting.
He puts in half.
He says he doesn't have much money, but they say he's got, but you've got 20. Oh no, they say they need 2,000, and he says he doesn't have that. And then Bigby's like, you've got 2,100.
Yeah,
something
exactly.
like that. Yeah, really specific.
So he puts in $2,000, but then gets 4 back with everyone else. I was like, no, they should have offset the profit, but no, that's just me being picky.
It's so he's back. He's back and he's looking up old friends.
Yeah, it's basically a film revolving around consequences and nostalgia.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what it was on.
Like, first, there's an opportunity.
There's quite a lot of older music choices in it. So they had the Queen at one point.
Well, no,
Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
What was interesting about the music I liked is how it was old music choices that came out obviously during the original Trainspotting 2, Trainspotting 1, sorry. But they're remixes, and they're actually really, really good remixes. Yeah. I love the soundtrack is awesome, and I can just tell that's what I'm going to be playing for a bit afterwards. I think, to be honest, actually, the past year, soundtracks in general have been incredible for movies. They've been awesome.
Except Suicide Squad. It was good music.
Suicide Squad was a garbage film. So
yeah, we don't talk about Suicide Squad.
We don't talk about the DC universe. It's garbage.
No, man, DC makes good. They make good TV series. They make terrible films.
No, right. You said that last week.
Yeah, I'll say it every week.
But the thing is, I realised something. You don't have Netflix, which means you can't have seen the Marvel. Because you always
I haven't seen like Luke Cage and stuff.
Yeah, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones are really good, man. As soon as
okay. All right, I'll as soon as
I'll give you my Netflix password, and then
as soon as I get that internet thing.
Because you know how the last time you said Marvel do the better films, but DC do the better TV shows.
Yeah, from what I've seen,
I actually think that the Netflix series might sway your opinion on that.
I'll get back to you.
Cool. Also, one thing I really liked about Trainspotting, was the fact that he didn't. Because I feel like a lot of films now, you go into it and then it's like. London, England, like in massive things, and like stuff isn't blamed directly to you.
Danny Boyle treats the audience as smart people.
Exactly.
That's why he does very bizarre cuts, and why it doesn't go, oh look, they're in a dream state now. It just happens, and it's fantastic.
But
he knows that you know.
He knows that you know.
Yeah. So, Mark, Ewan McGregor's characters, it had been in Amsterdam the entire time. You don't find that out from the first one, but there's just a couple of shots, and you can just tell from the canals and the coffee shops. You know that's where he is, and then like 25 minutes later, he mentions it just in passing. But it's not like, "Hi, I'm Mark Renzi." He's not like speaking to the audience with an overview, going like, "This is what I've been up to for 20 years."
Like really shit.
He just treats people like.
Actually, I think he treats people as well that they've seen Trainspotting. That was actually what I was going to say later on. I feel that Trainspotting 2 doesn't do too well as a standalone movie, but
it's definitely a sequel.
It's definitely a companion to the original.
It's an expansion.
It's an expansion. It's not even much of a sequel because it's a case of just continuing the same story of the same characters.
I mean, the only negative I'd say would be it feels a little bit too much like a movie. If that so the first one
I should hope so.
But Ewan McGregor and stuff was an unknown. Everyone was kind of a bit shaky. The acting, it didn't feel like acting in the first one. It felt like you were watching.
Oh, okay.
It was much more immersive.
It's actually I do whenever I watch the original Trainspotting, I saw it now. I feel like I'm looking at Obi-Wan. I agree. I think that's a big problem with a lot of films like this, particularly when their sequels are made out more than a decade after the original, in the sense that the actors become big, and like you said, it did look like in the original that you were just watching people from Edinburgh. You were just watching these fucked up characters, but now because most of them are now big stars, there's no real risk. There's no real risk, I think, in the characters, in a sense, because you do always just kind of look at them as Hollywood.
Exactly. The only way that I can get immersed in this is by going through Trainspotting.
Yeah.
So, like you say, with this not working as a standalone, is because I need to go through the first one to get immersed.
Yeah, you got to come in through the first to really appreciate it. I think Trainspotting 2 you do kind of have to watch it as almost as a single film now.
Yeah, man.
I think you definitely appreciate this film more if you have seen the original.
Yeah.
And if you have, when you were young, maybe when you watched it, because you'll appreciate it more. It is very much a nostalgic film, in particular because they keep on cutting to scenes from Trainspotting.
Yeah. I thought they did that really well, though.
They didn't overuse it.
They didn't overuse it, but also it wasn't like... I couldn't really notice a difference in quality. They'd really done it.
Well, no, to us, I think that's literally a good argument for just how good Trainspotting was as well. It has aged very well. I know it's not old, but yeah, they didn't overuse the footage, and it fitted in well.
No, agreed.
And it was...
Would you guys be interested in seeing another sequel to it?
No, there's nothing else to say. That was it. The thing is, though, is that the reason why this is so good is because it is based on Porno, which is the sequel to Trainspotting by Evan Welsh.
I just thought, whenever I heard there've been talks for doing a sequel to Trainspotting for a while, so I just kind of stayed away from Porno. I was like, I don't want to hear anything about it in case they do use that to it.
And then you don't want to spoil it, yeah.
Although, speaking of which, I actually saw the last 10 minutes the other day. I had to go into a screen to let it out and switch the lights on.
That is one of the...
Worst things you can do here.
But I mean, to be fair, even though I knew what was going to happen, still, I don't think it ruined any of the film for me. Like, there was no point where I sat there just like, oh, this is going to happen because it needs to get to this point.
Well, in a way, I suppose it's not a spoiler, but nothing really shocking happens at the end. Nothing truly devastating happens where if you see the ending, it spoils it. I think it's a case of it's definitely about the journey rather than the destination, which is quite funny. Do
you guys want to get into spoiler territory?
Yeah, we may as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we do spoilers, 10 minutes. So it'll be a 10...
I'll put on a little time tag so people can just click it.
Can you do that?
On YouTube, you can. What are you talking about, iTunes?
This is iTunes, so I'd say literally 10 minutes, man. Like,
10 minutes.
And not as in 10 minutes. As in
exactly 10 minutes.
Exactly 10 minutes.
Okay, how about I put on a timer right now, and then 10 minutes, and we just stop if we have.
I'll edit this a little bit out. So any iTunes listeners, if you want to skip spoilers, just go ahead, 10 minutes.
10 minutes. We have a timer on. It will be 10 minutes back. We will see you in 10 minutes' time. Go watch the film.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Spoilers. Everybody dies. It was a dream. I really liked how it was. How it's obviously Big B spending 20 years in jail and then finding his way out by...
That's very clever.
He was very clever, getting himself stabbed and then escaping. I thought it was interesting when he arrived back in Edinburgh, trying to do with kind of the globalisation of it. In that, he's very out of date now.
Well, there was one point, where he was texting off Veronica's phone.
Yeah.
I was like, iPhones were a thing when he went away. How does he know how to use this?
He's probably adapted. I think he's an adapter. Okay, I imagine he would have adapted. I liked the relationship between him and his son because he's got a son now. That was very good.
Yeah.
Particularly when he realised that his son isn't going to be a criminal because that's out of date now. It's out of date to be a criminal. The crimes are bigger. There's no drug selling. Isn't like it is back then.
Back in the 90s.
Back in the 90s, it's more.
It's not as cool.
Well, no, actually, you saw it in when Spud was buying the heroin.
Oh, right,
when he went into the building and he took it from the guy's mouth, and it was very not personal. I mean, Trainspotting kind of made it look a bit personal in the sense of they knew the dealer.
That's what he said, wasn't it? It's like people forget that this is fun.
Yeah.
Like otherwise we wouldn't do it.
Well, I think that was the big difference in that when Trainspotting, obviously, you should never do it. It's heroin. But Trainspotting made it look glamorous because you had Mother Superior. They were doing it in a safe spot, and it was a heroin bar, and they all did it together, listening to music. Whereas it was communal. Whereas in Trainspotting 2, the only real heroin use you see is Spud, and it's just on his own, and it's sad, and he doesn't even enjoy it. It's just a plain addiction.
Yeah.
And it's not a case of previously in Trainspotting they were like, oh, you're addicted, and they were having fun. It's a case of Spuds just.
Just to crack it.
In Trainspotting 1, I feel that there's kind of two sides to it. So there was the kind of communal, all the friends together, but then there's also Tommy, because they reached the point where everyone else has kicked it.
Yeah.
But he's just gone so deep into it. He's had to sell all this stuff in his flat.
That's the thing. He never got involved in the communal side. He was often in his apartment on his own. Yeah, and then obviously he got AIDS and died.
Yeah, but I think it kind of shows the two different sides. So it's like the personal and the communal one.
No, definitely, I agree. I think actually talking about Spud, my favourite scene in the movie is when he tries to kill himself, and just the whole sequence I thought was beautiful.
And he vomits, and he fills the bag.
Well, when he vomits, no, it's the bit when basically it just kind of shows him on a ledge, falling off, and then just waiting for Renton to save him.
Yeah, and he slides underneath.
Slides underneath, catches him, and that was actually quite an emotional.
That's why I like Danny Boyle, though.
Yeah, he does stuff like that.
Also, the bit just before that when Mark goes inside and then goes up the flats.
And
he's
like,
got
ding,
the
ding, ding,
yeah.
I love that.
That's fantastic.
Those little
it's the small things.
Exactly,
I think the thing about Danny Boyle is like he's kind of like Edgar Wright, where he makes menial things interesting.
Yeah.
So, for example, in World's End, when they go have a pint, pulling a pint is interesting with Edgar Wright because it's up close. It's really loud. Well. It's frantic. It's framed well. And the same with this, whenever there's a small thing like walking up some stairs, it's made in a really interesting way. And to Danny Boyle, getting choked out in a bag it's done in a different way. It's shown as obviously he's on a ledge and he's falling, he's on to catch him, and then he just explodes in vomit, and it was brutal.
Afterwards, where Ewan McGregor gets it on him, so he's like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that was cool. I think
just add a little bit of levity to what.
Yeah, it was a bit more black. It was black comedy.
Yeah,
black
comedy, but it helps bring it up from it. He is at the lowest point then, and shows how friends can bring it up. And
I think actually, to talk about the vomit, like unlike Trainspotting, there weren't that many shocking scenes. I mean, Trainspotting, you had the baby death, which is one of the most horrific scenes I think in film.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything as insane as that.
Particularly because of the up close shot of the baby.
And it goes back three times.
You keep seeing.
No, sorry about that. When
in the actual scene.
No, in the actual crib.
Yeah, so like the guy, he comes in and you're like, well, that's a dead baby, because you just see the cot, and you're like, that's like in your head, you're like, that's horrific. That's all you're gonna see.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the shot of the baby, and you're like,
shrunken and it's starved and it's got a bit of vomit on it.
And then it goes back again.
Yeah.
And it goes back a third time, and you're like, I'm just getting pummeled.
There was nothing like that, but maybe that's because since Trainspotting, films have done more shocking things. So maybe.
How would you shock an audience now, though?
Have you heard of a Serbian film?
Yeah, though.
That's just.
No, I think when we talk about shock, we've got to talk about shock in a kind of a mainstream film that's being released, rather than more of a cult film like a Serbian film. I don't think there is.
Talking of cult film, I just thought I'd bring up the box office for Trainspotting. So as we're filming, as we're recording, we're still in the opening weekend, so we haven't got those figures yet. However, we have. The budget for the first Trainspotting was $3.5 million estimated, and its opening weekend it only made $4.5 million. That's it. 4.7 gross $16 million.
Considered a failure now.
Yeah, essentially, right? This is insane. The budget for the new Trainspotting 2 was $18 million. Wow. 1.8. That's insane, man. Like that's a slow burner, isn't it?
Would that be just for Danny Boyle and Ewan McGregor? Like, well, most of that have gone towards. I mean, I don't feel that. Obviously, the production
no one's as big as Ewan McGregor. Not even Danny Boyle.
But I mean, I felt like the production value was
good,
but it wasn't like so far above the original. It wasn't like.
I reckon you could make that film for about 6-7 mil.
Fair. With,
I reckon,
including the actors.
No wages.
Oh, okay, fair.
Like, so yeah, think about it, right? So one of those flats was due for demolition. There is no way they put that up themselves. Right. Like, where it raps, he said, like, that. I guarantee the other flat was up for demolition. Right. Right at the credit scene when everything was getting demolished.
Yeah.
Guarantee that flat, they just said, can we just film in here for a few weeks? That's Spud's flat sorted. Pub exactly the same. Like, just find yourself a derelict pub.
Yeah.
Like, what you need to do is hook up one barrel for pulling of a pint. You can make that film for dirt cheap, man.
So real quickly, just going back to the pub, the first shot, like the first time you see it, the colouring was beautiful. I remember just
the pub?
Yeah,
it looked like a painting.
It looked
like a painting. It was fantastic.
Just after sunset, so it was a bit of like an orange glow, and it just felt
like everything's just set really nice in that film.
Also, I kept noticing Iron Brew everywhere, which I thought was just
really, because I didn't see any product placement in that at all.
The only product placement I see was the 2-second shot of the video game that the son was playing.
Oh yeah, well,
I suppose
there was also a Google Chrome laptop I noticed at one point.
Okay.
And something else I remember thinking product
It's
placement.
not Michael Bay like though, is it? Or Adam Sandler like kind of.
You wouldn't have seen it, but there's a scene in the latest Transformers.
No.
He literally there's a truck of Bud Light
Yeah.
crashes, and Mark Wahlberg picks up a can, cracks it on a cart, and just chugs something and throws it down, and it's like, what the fuck was the point of that?
It's
What
and
are you
it's Bud
actually
Light,
doing?
which is like the weakest of beers and
Yeah.
the most fragile.
I remember the day that I gave up on Avril Lavigne.
Yes, because this is a thing.
Just a traumatic point.
It was. I remember
yeah.
it specifically because I was watching some music channel, and the video for her latest music video, and this is obviously pre-sellout Avril Lavigne. But this was the moment I gave up, was because every second was a product placement.
Really?
Yeah, there was like laptops in there. There was Sony. There was like some clothing range.
It's annoying, isn't it? It's so
everything
annoying.
was a fucking sellout. Like, it was so horrific. What we like for time?
Oh, we good.
I've seen that picture.
We good.
On
It was made it onto Reddit. How good is
Nice.
that? On the what the fuck
good on
subreddit.
this, bro.
Yeah.
On an unrelated note, advertisement for us. Not selling out because we're a podcast, not a film, so it's fine.
Buy Coca-Cola. Buy
Oh, where's
Like,
Coca-Cola?
Cola.
Oh,
There
we,
we go.
no, we want to be sponsored by Strepsil because I've constantly got a sore throat.
I want to be sponsored by Wizards of the Coast, so I don't have to buy fucking D&D stuff anymore.
That'd be pretty sweet.
It's rinsing me. So, any more spoilers you want to talk about for
To
T2?
be honest, I don't think it's really a spoilable film in a sense, because like I said, nothing major really happens.
I did kind of. I was kind of hoping that it'd kill everyone.
I was expecting a death. I was definitely expecting a death.
I thought Mark was definitely going to die. I thought that
I thought actually when he was hung, I thought Big was grabbing it. I genuinely did think he was actually going to kill him.
Yeah, I thought that was death.
I saw that when I said I saw the ending. I saw the bit just before and getting to when that bit where Baker pulls him down. I was like, "His neck's gone. He's dead."
That's
and
dead.
I was like,
Yeah.
I've just had the big thing
Fucking
spoiled
big
for
spoiler.
me. And I think him being saved, I felt was kind of not cliche, but it was a little bit.
It's a little bit Hollywood.
Yeah, a little bit Hollywood, and also the fact that it just so happens that at the same time that Mark comes back from Amsterdam, like he gets out of prison. It was a bit.
Yeah, a bit
coincidental,
of a coincidence. Yeah, that's true. I mean, but life's filled with coincidences.
So we've got 10 minutes.
Yeah, spoilers.
All right.
Okay, so that's just a quick recap.
Welcome back, guys.
Yeah,
It's a great film. I really recommend it. You'll probably enjoy it more if you saw the original, appreciate the original. It's not a great standalone movie.
Currently, at the time in the UK, you can pick up Trainspotting, the first one, for $2.99 with any purchase in HMV.
Nope, you can also get it for $2.49 on the Google Play Store.
Ah,
So,
nice. Save yourself 50p.
Let HMV die. It's
HMV
just let it go. It's gone.
Let his
It's
master's
gone.
voice trail away into the darkness.
I
Exactly.
always forget that's what HMV stands for.
His master's voice. That's why it's a dog on a gramophone.
Yeah,
Or Her Majesty's vagina. If you'd like
that
to go
also
there.
works.
You've been to HMV?
Okay, so on to our next section, which is General Geek. And so this week we are talking about video games. General Geek. So, in fact, no, we can't say General Geek because we looked into making that our podcast name and it's already been taken.
It's already been taken. But this is a segment. It doesn't
It's
count.
a segment, yeah.
All right, so
So,
if you'd like to introduce what we're going to do for the first one.
So, because it's the first time we're going to talk about video games, it's not going to be anything specific. We're just going to talk about each of our favourite video games. It can be from any time, from Pong till whatever the
I
fuck
might
came out
change
today.
mine.
Don't change it to Pong, please.
No. Okay, good. I'll decide. You go first.
Okay. So, my favourite video game of all time is Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Fucking amazing
It
game.
is incredible.
So good.
You can play as a what was the monster that swiped at Luke?
Oh, the Wampa.
The Wampa. That was
Yes.
the Wampa. You can
Yeah.
play as Wampas.
Yeah, no,
like that's just incredible.
I played it for so long before realising that hunt mode was a thing.
Same.
So
I didn't.
you could-
And when I discovered it, I was like, "This is a cheat, surely."
Although there was one hunt version which was terrible, and it was the one on Naboo because you could play as Gungans, and they literally didn't have
Shit.
weapons. They just
Oh,
had
I remember that. They just had the little sticks.
fusion cutters. So
Yeah.
they could fix the turrets, and then they could
It's just being
shoot.
hunted down, literally.
Yeah, but it was really satisfying to play as the CIS and then shoot all the Gungans in the face.
It's such a good. There is nothing that I didn't enjoy about that game.
Yeah, no,
At
so-
everything. Everything you could possibly want from a game
Yeah.
is in Battlefront 2. Although I've yet to play the new Battlefront.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
I
I'm
thought
okay.
they were going to keep it fairly in line with the
all
latest
online.
one, and it's all online. There's no story mode, I don't think.
Nah.
Or at least there
See, that
wasn't
annoys me.
at
Like,
least.
I understand that's where games are going, and like people want to chill out online, but I need story mode.
Yeah, exactly. Like for me, playing with my friend, it's so much better when they're in the room with me.
Yeah.
Like my fondest memories of
Lamb
playing.
pie.
Yeah, maybe not lamb pies, but like everyone coming over and playing Halo 2, and there's like 4 of us in the room, we've got split screen on, and there's everyone yelling at each other because they're convinced that the others are looking at their screen.
I often find now, because I get really invested in things, particularly online games, and honestly got to the point where I found that when I was playing Battlefield, or particularly Dota 2, the more I was playing, it wasn't fun. Like, it was almost work. It was stressful. Well, yeah, almost, but it's just stressful. Like, I just stopped enjoying multiplayer, and I prefer solid story modes. Yeah. And that's why I was disappointed at that Battlefront.
Yeah, I like getting invested, man.
Well, because with story modes you can just jump in and play. Whereas with Battlefront, any multiplayer game, you've got to make sure you've got a good, decent team, playing with decent people.
You got to make sure your connection's okay.
Your connection's okay. There's so many factors. It's just so annoying.
Yeah, man. Like, it's just good game though. Battlefront 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Solid game.
In fact, we might actually be coming and doing a proper review
doing
of it.
A little play. Yeah.
So one of our ideas for a separate video is going to be basically nostalgic game reviews. So the idea is not to promote a game that's just come out. It's more to kind of inspire people to...
Hipsters!
Just to go and pick up a second-hand copy or dig yours out of the loft or whatever and just start playing the game.
It's not Battlefront, but I was in CX the other day and guess what's in the window?
I don't know.
A Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Really?
Motherfucking SNES. Fucking SNES, man.
Yeah.
Such a good console. Our second console.
If there's ever a Nintendo 64 in CEX, let me know and I'll fucking run from my house to get it.
At the moment, they've got a SNES and they've got a Sega.
Right. Yeah. One game I'm determined to play again is Pokemon Stadium. Because I never had a Nintendo 64 as a kid. I had a PlayStation 1 that was me and my brother's.
PlayStation 1 or PS1? Different things. PlayStation 1 people consider as the OG PlayStation, the big square grey block. PS1 is the grey, smaller, rounded at the edges.
Yeah. Wait, what?
That's a PS1. It's like about so big.
The one that was a square and then had the disc drive that pops up in the middle, right?
Yeah, but it's big. It was about that big.
No, okay, PS1.
That's PlayStation. PlayStation.
What?
The block was the PlayStation. The PS1 was the slightly rounded edges one.
I don't know.
Smaller.
I had one of them.
Looks like a large DVD case with rounded edges.
PlayStation, then.
There you go.
The thing that you can play Spyro on.
That's both.
We'll edit this out.
Anyway.
But yeah, so I had a PlayStation and there was this Brian Lara cricket game that my dad bought. God. And it was so complicated that me and my brother just physically couldn't hack it.
Frisbee.
We couldn't... Yeah, so I never had a Nintendo 64 as a kid, but...
I had the Pokemon Special Edition one with the Pikachu.
Really?
It's incredible.
Nice. Is that the purple and yellow, right? If I remember rightly?
Yeah, blue and yellow, I think.
Oh, blue and yellow.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Nice. Yeah, so if CEX are ever selling that, I'm gonna...
Did I again?
No, it's right. We had during the break, we were like, you need to stop putting your phone on the table because it's so like... He's just like, yeah, sure. Bam!
Spike this. Wow.
Alright, so...
Okay, so on to Eamonn's pick for his favourite game.
My favourite game is Dark Souls.
1 or 2? There's only 2, right?
There's 3 now.
There's 4 if you count Demon Souls.
What's Demon Souls?
Demon Souls is so good. So Demon Souls was the kind of the original Souls game. Demon Souls was a spiritual successor to another game. I can't remember the name of it. But it was only really released in Japan. I managed to get a copy on Amazon for like £45, and it was incredible, and I loved it. So worth it. And then Dark Souls came out, and neither the sequels, Dark Souls 2 or 3 or Bloodborne, have been able to match.
I've never played Dark Souls. I just know that it's incredibly difficult.
It's not so much difficult as it's a different kind of game where every item you have on, you can use and be good with it. You just have to be a good player. And it's kind of a game where, like, if you die, it's not because the game's glitchy or broken,
it's because
you're literally shit at the game and you need to get good. You need to get good. That's pretty much it. Dark Souls. Well, there's not much more to say about Dark Souls because it has been set to death over many years since it came out, but it's just a phenomenal game, and I think it's a game that really, like, it's still being played today online. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
Which console was the first one on?
It was on PS3.
Oh, really?
PS3.
Dark Souls is a PlayStation game.
Dark Souls is a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 2 was Xbox 360 and PS3. and then Dark Souls 3. Everything, pretty much.
Everything.
Incredible game. I love it. Anyway, what's your favourite game?
Okay, so
riveting discussion.
Originally, I was going to go with Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah,
John Marsden, fantastic game.
Yeah.
Oh no! If you're going to say that, you've got to put on that his kid's a dick.
His kid is a bellend.
I don't like
That's
that.
why everyone stops. Like everyone plays the game through first, and then
He
find
dies
out
and that's
what
it.
he dies, and you turn into his kid, and you're like, never again.
Never
Or
again.
you play until the last mission,
Yeah.
and then you don't do the last mission.
I do dislike that the ending of Red Dead Redemption. I do wish it had ended with him dying.
Yeah,
That's it. It would have been more cutting.
but then
But then they had to explain the open world.
Yeah,
But they could just do a
exactly,
GTA where sometimes you just go back to before the final mission.
Yeah.
That's it. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I think
mean,
I'll stick with Red Dead. I think I'm going to stick with
no,
Red Dead.
Dead's
I was
a
going to change
good.
it. But yeah,
HD remaster when? Come on,
it's,
let's get that remaster. Red Dead Redemption 2 next year
Yeah.
or
Is it this
2019.
Oh, really?
It's not this year.
Oh,
No.
shit.
I thought it was this year.
Is it? I'm pretty sure they announced it, but then it's like good 2 years away or something.
The
I hope it's this year.
way they leaked that image, well, they didn't leak it, but the way they released that image,
The
as well,
the
was
slow
everyone
trickle
again.
of reveal,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fantastic.
It's just like because everyone was like, "Is this what I think it is?"
Yeah.
Like-
That's one of the best ways to do it, though.
2017.
2017.
2017. So
Nice.
fourth quarter.
Oh,
So it's
yeah,
December.
Yeah.
That's a Christmas.
Or
release.
apparently you can buy it now from Tesco Direct. I don't think so.
Tesco's got the inline.
They
for
got the
Rockstar.
inline. They are Rockstar.
No, called it.
Just one thing I kind of missed though, and like especially with this next one, is that I haven't actually bought a game. You know, there reached a point where they were releasing games on 360 and on Xbox One, or
Yeah.
like same with PlayStation 3 and 4. There reached a point where all new releases were just on the latest gen, and I don't have. I don't
Yeah.
have a PS4 or an Xbox One, so
No,
they literally
same.
reached the point where I've just had to stop getting the new releases, and I don't know. I kind of miss it. I miss big getting because I can't get excited for games anymore.
I can't justify buying that console, man.
Yeah.
Like it's just too much cash.
I can't justify buying big games now at the price, and they're always so hyped and they're always broken. They're always broken. You got to. I remember what was it the other day? I was at Ben Fleet's house, one of our
Ben
friends
Fleet.
here, and one of our other friends came around with Resident Evil 7.
Okay. Yeah,
Looking forward to playing it, pop it in. Suddenly you've got to update
Yeah.
straight away, and then you've got to install it, and you buy
and then it's
discs.
3 hours later.
Then it's 3 hours later, and by then the hype's gone. You don't care. Like it's just an effort of having to. I know it was the same thing with the PS3 and previous generation, but I do just miss buying a disc, putting it in, and playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like if
man,
I was
man.
going to download it, I may as well get it on my PC.
Yeah.
So
Right.
the other day I was actually playing Spyro 2. I took it out a lot.
Spyro 2.
And it's seriously. Oh no, it wasn't even Spyro 2, it was Spyro 1. That game, you get the disc, put it in, you close it, and it puts you straight in. There's no tutorials, nothing.
Yeah,
If you wanna
straight
know,
in the game.
Yeah.
If you want to know what the buttons are, you've got to read through the thing that's in the front of the box.
You got to read the manual.
Yeah, exactly. But that's
Yeah.
so much. You literally it just drops you straight in. There's no safe zone. You're literally in a thing
There's no
with
safe
enemies
space.
that could kill you. And it doesn't tell you what to do at all. It just lets you explore and figure out yourself. It's not just like on rails. Do this, do
I like
that, do
stuff
that.
To
like
be honest,
that.
actually, Battlefield 1 was good for that. Have you played Battlefield 1?
Not really a big
You
Battlefield
played it?
guy.
No, so
Oh, well, first mission, you're just straight into a war, straight away, and you're expected. And it
That's
just,
like,
the first thing you see when you turn on the game is you will not survive. There's no main menu, you just get thrown into a battle and you die. And it's epic.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
right, I recommend
See,
it.
yeah, man, I like stuff like that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, even Medal of Honor. Medal of
Yeah.
Honor Frontline, probably one of the best
Openings.
Medal of Honor games.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just start off on Normandy,
it's fantastic.
and you're like, what the fuck's
It
going on?
kind of goes back to what we talked about earlier about what makes Danny Boyle great, and that he doesn't treat the audience like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you bought the game, we know you want to play it, we're not going to hold your hand, it's a war game.
Play the fucking game.
Play the fucking
and
game.
also it means that the next time you play through it, you're not stuck doing the same tutorial. You know exactly what to do, and you're like, "This is just walking me through so slowly." Oh, let me just get back
some
to it.
tutorials are fucking stupid,
Yeah.
man. I will take a hint on a loading screen any day. Chuck some hints on there, that whatever, man. But you know when it's like when it freezes the game to
And-
tell you what to
yeah.
do, and you're like,
And you have
Don't
to
care.
skip through text as well, or there's even worse, there's like a video playing for some reason. I just don't care.
I don't care.
I
Like
don't
I'll
care,
figure
man.
this out. I promise, I'll figure it out. Games. Just
I've
let me
been playing
play.
games for a long time.
Well, I'm pretty sure that in one of the skate games, the tutorial in it is literally the exact same tutorial from the first game. I was like, this is so unbelievably
This is a
lazy. You can't
rip-off.
actually. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I remember.
No, that's EA, alright.
Oh, that's EA.
That's EA, just copy and paste, that's EA.
Have you ever seen the picture? And it's like a guy at an interview, and he's like, "Oh, this is a CV page 1 of 2," and the guy goes, "Yes, page 2 will be $20." It zooms out, it says EA Games, like, "You're hired."
You're hired.
I love that.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
There were some good EA games back in the day, though. I think they did all the Harry Potter games.
Oh, they were
incredible.
What? No, some of them.
Awful
incredible games.
Yeah,
the Philosopher's Scone is incredible.
Oh man, you just
Flipendo. You just flipendo in snails in a dungeon. Flipendo. I love that. And you collected beans, and you had to get the magic cards.
Yeah. No, right. The fourth one was the first where they stopped doing like open world. So you couldn't explore. I was like, this is and that was terrible. I hated that game.
What did I play? I played Deathly Hallows Part 1. Well, no, I played Philosopher's Stone on the PC, fucking way back when. And then I played, I think my brother had Half-Blood Prince or something like that, I don't know. And it was fucking awful.
Yeah, no, I think that towards the later ones, apparently it was just basically COD, but with wands.
Yeah.
Like, you were just going around and you would just press a button and you're aiming and just trying to duel in it, and
it's just irritating, man. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to play this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna read the books again. I'm gonna make my own story with blackjack and hookers.
There was a day I was working in the prep area of the kitchen and just doing all the washing up. I was doing a KP shift, and so I got my speakers out, went on YouTube, started playing the Stephen Fry audiobook of Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah. That's because his voice is like honey.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Do many things for that man. Cool, man. Right, so I mean, yeah. That's to sum up games. It wasn't as good as it used to be, and it never will.
Just like life. Just like life. Just like your childhood. It's not coming
back to Trainspotting.
Back to Trainspotting nostalgia. It's not going to get any better.
It all comes back to Trainspotting.
Only worse.
All right, cool. So now we're going to get into your topic.
Yeah.
So we're going to go. Yeah, we're going to go with every time we get a guest, they bring their own topic. Or a Snickers, like whatever you're into. If you can find a topic.
Find a topic. Well, I mean.
Right, yeah, so we're going to go with your topic.
My topic is...
wait, before you do your topic, so you're leaving, right?
I am leaving.
And, of course, you played, coming from Geek into your thing, you played D&D. So what we did is we got you a dragon gold frame.
Oh, my...
So for you guys who can't see this, Mark went and bought a frame and has framed
that is actually
Eamonn's character sheet.
Oh.
His
nice, man.
His character was called Calamite, which is from Dark Souls.
Yes, that was that.
And
man, like that's real dragon gold.
That was real, with my paladin shield and my paladin sword.
It's still got all the little notes on at the top.
This is just
it's also got food on the back that I noticed when I was putting it in the frame. No, like it's on the back of your character sheet. Whatever you were eating will now be encapsulated.
Good.
In that frame.
This is just so stupidly geeky, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's just.
It does need a bit of a wide, but you can see what the price tag was.
I kind of feel that kind of stuff just adds to it, gives it like a rustic look.
Yeah, it does look insanely geeky. But that's your character sheet, forever encapsulated. In case you ever want to play, just break the glass.
Emergency D&D. Quick, shit.
Need the sheet.
I need to roll, come on.
But so we're sorry to see you go, man. It sucks.
Although, if you're ever back, we need to have a D&D game. In fact, I think we should try and do just a special
I can totally Skype. I would totally do that from my little fucking olive farm. What am I doing? What a stupid thing!
Just gonna go pick some olives.
It's so fucking ridiculous.
Hey man, I need to roll for charisma. And in the back of the Senor, you need to pick the olives.
The olives, senor.
We are behind on the order.
Oh man, what a ridiculous choice! I can't wait. Actually, to be honest, that was going to be my topic.
Spain?
No, travelling.
Oh, travelling.
And olives.
I was going to
olives, yeah.
Not all the types of olives. No, it's more a case of making just quick, random life choices. I think that take you in a very different direction.
Yeah, man. Like life's all about experiences, right?
That's pretty much what I've kind of always gone on. I mean, the decision when I moved to Vietnam, that decision was made in a weekend. Cause I knew with my girlfriend at the time, I knew we were going to break up. So I need to distract myself.
It's just like, we need to talk. Yeah, sure. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
No. This is actually what This is what made it satisfying, is that, like, I knew it was going to happen, so in a weekend I was feeling very down. I was just like, let's just go to Vietnam. So I booked everything. And then a few days later, we were like, yeah, we need to talk. And I was like, before you say anything, I'm moving to Vietnam for 6 months. Wow. And then she was like, oh, okay. I was like, we can't be together anymore.
So, when you were in Vietnam, was it, were you in one place, or did you go and move around?
No, I was in one place.
But did you do, like, weekend?
Oh, yeah, I went to weekend, like, to places like Sapa, other parts, but I was mainly based in Hanoi. That's where I spent most of my time.
Do a lot of people speak Mandarin in Vietnam?
No, it's... No,
No,
no, they don't. I tried.
What did you like? Just like, so this was made over a weekend, yeah?
The Vietnam.
Yeah. So you fly to Vietnam, you get into Vietnam. What do you do?
No, actually, it was all arranged over the weekend of a case of me getting a work placement out there and everything.
So you got work placement?
I taught in a university and I worked in an orphanage.
What is this? What is your life?
I don't know.
I'm
basically when I went out there, there's a charity out there called Reach, and it's like a free university to people who have come from kind of disadvantaged backgrounds.
Okay.
So I taught in that, and basically they have a house there as well. So when I came back, taxi picked me up from the airport, went there, met other like workers, and just kind of went from there.
That's pretty.
And that's the thing I was going to say. If people who are listening, if anyone's listening, I really just recommend just doing really random shit. I would say it's not fun to be kind of caught in a just going.
So what you're saying is, if you get yourself in like a proper dirty funk,
if you were in a position where there's nothing really holding you down, yeah, and like say if you hate your job, you hate where you're living, haven't really got anything where you are, just do it.
Or if you just need a change of scenery.
Sorry,
I haven't been out of the country in.
Change of scenery.
I've been to Amsterdam for 4 days, and that's the only time I've been out of the country in the past 5 years.
Go away for a weekend, like particularly for your UK listeners. Like you have Europe at your doorstep for now. So just for now.
It's not going to slip away into the ocean.
But no, it's easy now because you can literally just go like, for example, from Hull, you can just get like a £20 boat to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
You can just fly for £30 to another city and culture. And even when you mean a move in, like, for example, like 2 months ago, I didn't think I'd be moving to Barcelona for my girlfriend, but now I'm moving to Barcelona and stuff. And I'm just a big fan of making drastic, sudden life choices to keep it exciting. Keep it exciting. We live in a culture now where you've kind of got to, people feel like, well, you've got to have this career. You've got to have an apartment. You've got to be in a serious relationship. You've got to have
2.5 kids.
Yeah, you've got to have all of this, even now. And I know there's loads of stuff like, but think differently, but you've got to still do this.
Yeah.
Like, just do it. Just like, if you've got savings, if you don't care about a flat, just go traveling. Like, I mean, a lot of people have kind of said when I've gone, like, I'm going to Vietnam for 6 months, I'm going to Spain and stuff. Some people do say, like, but what are you going to do when you get back? That frustrates me, is that their instant thought, like, is what are you going to do when you get back?
You spend so much time living in the future.
You spend so much time. I mean, it's trying to load. People are working to get a pension. Like how you are working to basically die. That's it. You are working to retire comfortably and die comfortably with some money, and that's just ridiculous. And people going like, but what are you going to do when you get back?
Choose life.
Choose life. Yeah, go back to Trainspotting again. Choose life. Don't worry about the fucking pension in the future. Like, don't worry about what you're going to do when you get back, if you do get back. Like, just do it and get the memories and experience and enjoy it. And work on a fucking olive farm in Moralanova. Like, I didn't think I'd be working on an olive farm, but you just do it. Just do it.
So just do it, yeah.
Just do it.
Choose life.
Choose life.
Choose to be scared.
Choose to be, literally, go out of your comfort zone as often as you can.
Choose to kiss the girl that you know that doesn't love you back.
Yeah, I mean, that might end in a offence or a fine or something, but I guess you could probably do that. Yes. But yeah, just do it. Choose life. Choose life.
That's the name of this episode, by the way.
Choose life.
No, choose podcasts.
Choose life.
Choose podcasts. Just do it. Like, it doesn't matter in the end.
I mean, I keep seeing this thing popping up on Facebook going, like, experiences, like, life experiences are the new riches. Like, because all the all the gold-plated toilets in the world aren't going to make up for, like, the memory of being...
I think people now as well, I mean, particularly with our generation, we are more... If two people were to come in now and one person was saying, like, had, like, I have £30,000 in my bank account, we'd kind of be like, okay.
Good for you.
But you're more impressed by
Can I borrow
someone
a
who
fiver?
literally you just go, "Can I just borrow some money?" But you're more impressed and want to speak to the person who went, "Oh, I was in Africa for a while and I travelled Africa.
Yeah, I agree,
I had to
man.
sleep a bit rough and like." Even though they might have much for it now, the fact that they've done that, it's more impressive.
So, like, I mean, like, I've just been thinking about this is the fact that, like, you know, I've got a kid on the way.
Yeah.
And, like you say, like, I can provide that kid with financial means, but is the kid going to learn anything financial from me? I'd be like, not really. I mean, I'm on minimum wage. The kid's going to be on minimum wage. You know what I mean?
Most people now are going to be on
There's
minimum
nothing there
wage.
I can transfer, but what I can tell them about is the fact that
Just do
out
it.
of no fucking reason I dressed up like a Viking for 2 years and beat the shit out of people.
Yeah, and that's going to be cool. That's going to be more interesting. The best thing that, like, I think the one thing if I ever had a kid in the future, like yourself, the one thing I'd instill in them is to not worry so much about, oh, you got to listen, you got to do secondary school, then go to uni, then get a job. I would be like, hey, listen, if you want to do volunteering abroad, save up for that and do it. Like, if you want to travel if you've only got 200 in your account, but you still want to make a bizarre life choice and go, like, walking across Spain or something, I'd say just do it, just be safe. Like, just do it. Give them a sense of adventure and a sense of excitement and to not worry about
I can agree more.
other things. Like, obviously, do try and have don't make a job your defining life characteristic. We define each other by the jobs we do rather than the experiences that we've had. What are you saying? You're 21?
I'm 21. I went straight from primary school to secondary school to university, and now I have...
You're that clever, you skip college.
Yeah. You're just,
No, there's no one
I'm
sixth form.
impressed.
Oh, yeah. I don't need that college.
My secondary school had a sixth form attached, so I didn't really think about that. But now I've got 40 grand's worth of debt, and I work at a minimum wage job.
You did see Trainspotting today, though.
You did see Trainspotting today.
I saw La La Land.
You've got some crazy sour skills as well. That's pretty...
Yeah, I've got crazy sour skills and the ability to
but-
coordinate it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
But I mean, like, I'm not the most confident speaker, and I was like, fuck it, what have I got to lose by trying to start a podcast and just seeing, because,
Nothing.
Well, it's like the old saying, isn't it? You miss all the shots you don't take. And
Yeah, you do.
And I know this isn't like crazy pushing the boundaries out, just recording a podcast, but still, I'm still trying to do something, and it would just be...
Just do something that makes you smile. Do something that makes you happy.
Exactly.
Do something that, like, in 10 years' time, you're going to look back on and be like, that
Laugh
was
about.
fucking stupid.
Yeah, I'd rather look back and go, oh man, I remember 10 years ago you tried to do a podcast, rather than 10 years ago, do you remember thinking about doing a podcast? Do you think we might...
Yeah, listen to this. It's great.
Yeah, listen to this. But you might kind of think like, 10 years ago I wish I'd actually done it, because I mean, your life's not going to change. The worst that can happen is this gets 0 listens.
Well, it will get at least one.
And it would get at least one from my mum.
From you. Yeah. 2, your mum. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly, 2.
We'll tell Ben Fleet that he was in it.
Actually, that's free. That's free. And then maybe Ben Fleet's mum will want to listen to it, to hear her son's name
4.
mentioned on radio.
See, before you know it, we're up to single figures.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's just talking about the stuff that I love for the people that I like.
Just spend your days doing like happy, cool shit like this. And don't fret about
Nothing.
Don't worry, it
don't-
works itself
that's
out.
it. Don't worry.
If we're recording ourselves playing video games, playing D&D, whatever it is, it's still stuff that I love doing. I'm not like, I've got to go and record it for the podcast now. It's still stuff that I enjoy. And if other people get an enjoyment out of that, great. But if they don't, who gives a fuck? I'm losing.
I think I remember one of the things that made me smile was when I was watching Twitch and I was just going through the games and stuff, and there was this guy playing who had like 7 viewers. But like when I joined in, he'd like say your username and like, oh, thanks for. So I was like, what are you guys up to today? And like, you could generally tell like he didn't care how many viewers he had.
Just having fun.
He was just having fun, and he really liked talking to like the 2 people that were talking to him and stuff.
Yeah.
And just,
We're not
fun.
saying we're not saying that money isn't important.
no,
Because it is.
it
Like,
is
it'd be
important.
stupid to say that it isn't. And,
I know it's easy to say the hippie stuff of money doesn't matter, but it does matter because I know it's kind of
but I mean, how long have you worked here for?
since the opening.
Since
How long
like
have you
6
worked
months?
here?
Yeah.
That was 6 months, yeah.
Yeah, about 6 months. So, like, you've worked. Like, you've got some cash there. Like,
Exactly. That's the thing, though, is that you can just do that. Take, like, a job which, is going to be fun, like working in a cinema, where you get to meet cool people and watch free films, save up for a bit, and then just go somewhere, and then do it again.
there'll always be a minimum wage job.
There's always going to be a minimum wage job, and at the very least, maybe a basic living thing coming through soon.
Sweep the streets, because you get more than minimum wage, and you can save up to go to Vietnam.
Exactly, and then teaching, and then you never know, you might find something there, and then you stay. I knew people who were there for like 2 or 3 years, because, and I swear there were probably still people were still thinking like, you've been there for 2 years now. What are you going to do when you get back? What a stupid thing to say. But that's my topic.
Yeah, so it's
just
very
travel and do it, and no matter whether it's starting a podcast or going to Asia, just find a way to do it.
Just find a way.
Just find a way to do it, and you'll enjoy it.
There is always a way.
There is always, if you really, really want to do it, you'll do it.
So you got a Wi-Fi connection. You're 16, 17 years old. You know, you're living with your parents, and they're thinking, not really.
Yeah.
I'm at college. I've got a job.
Yeah.
What do you say to them?
What do you say to them?
Playing devil's advocate, yeah.
What's their...
So this 16-year-old guy, his name is Liam.
Okay, is this a real person?
No.
Okay.
Well, he could be.
Probably somewhere,
Liam, yeah, good lad, yeah. He lives in Greenwich. He's living with his parents.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get good grades at secondary school, so he's in college doing a BTEC in IT.
Okay.
He's doing a BTEC in woodwork.
Okay.
And he's thinking, what am I going to do?
Yeah. At
16.
At 16, I'd probably say...
16-year-old.
Just don't worry, you're 16.
Yeah.
Like...
It's because, if he finishes the BTECs, he doesn't have to go into something straight away. He could just go and get a job doing whatever.
Pot wash.
Yeah. Be a pot wash for a year. Get some money together. Go, just live somewhere different.
Then go travel or do bar work or...
A year can be as long or as short as you want it to be.
Yeah.
If you wish away the days, they'll disappear.
And the thing is though, is that you don't know what's going to happen the next day, let alone the next year or month. Like I said, like the weekend before I booked to go to Vietnam, I didn't think I'd be going to Vietnam for like half a year, and then a week later there I was spending $4,000 to arrange everything.
That's insane.
Because that was all money I'd saved up to get a flat. And then I realised that I didn't want a flat in Leeds or anything like that by myself. I wanted to...
Sound like a direct attack against Leeds then.
No, not
flat in Leeds.
No, Leeds is a fantastic city, 10 out of 10 bars. But I realised that I didn't want to be working in this small little office in a hospital with a flat to myself, having just been like almost broken up with. I was like, it doesn't sound nice at all.
On the other hand, you got a 6-month story of Vietnam.
Exactly. Yeah. Got stories, and then you've got the next big adventure of my time on an olive farm.
Yeah.
My gran always said shrouds don't have pockets. So,
what doesn't have pockets?
Shrouds.
Shrouds.
It's what you wear when they bury you. In the
that's
like
shrouds.
You can't take it with you once you pass away unless you're a Viking and you believe if you bury it, they don't let you have it.
Well, I'm just going to bring a nice sword with me so I can.
That's what you need.
Attack Jesus.
I want to attack Jesus. It's like you go to Valhalla, you're like, where is it?
Where is Jesus?
Where's who? Where's Jesus?
That's the wrong religion. That doesn't exist. Oh
shit.
Oh. Shit.
Valhalla does sound amazing, by the way.
Valhalla, partying and eating all day, and then fighting at night. And
you fight all day.
Yeah. Party all night, and then you never feel tired, you never feel pain, you just...
And occasionally Odin shows up.
Yeah.
And joins
the crew, yeah.
That's just amazing, like out of nowhere, like player 2's end of the game.
Fuck you, one eye.
You're assuming he's on your side. He would just come in there like Sauron, just taking everyone out.
So he doesn't show up, it's too easy.
He's
playing the game on easy.
Odin's OP.
Just like, man, come on, you can't play like that.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah, so they just... Well, see, that's the thing I love about this podcast, is that with the guests, we have literally no idea what the topic's going to be.
Yeah,
it's not even... This wasn't geek-related, this was life advice.
Life advice.
Choose to listen to us or not, it doesn't really matter.
Choose life.
Just choose Emperor Palpatine. Do it.
Do it now. Have you seen the Game Grumps figure there?
No.
Alright, during the break, we'll watch the Game Grumps do it. It's fucking genius. Do it.
Okay, and so now we're on to the final bit, which is going to be a recurring...
guest segment.
Recurring guest segment, where basically we get them to tell us 3 statements. In this case, it's going to be 2 truths and a lie.
Yeah.
And then me and Mark get to ask the questions.
So do we get 2 questions each? 2 questions for all of them, or 2 questions per...
Oh no, it's going to be for all of them.
For all of them, yeah. For all of them.
Alright, I'll be in
this. And then we've got to try and guess. So it's something that it gives me and Mark a nice little game to play, and also helps you guys get to know our guests.
Okay, so
yeah, take it away then.
Okay, when I was in Vietnam, I was robbed. I had all my shit stolen.
Ooh.
That wasn't fun. When I was at Glastonbury Festival... I
was robbed. I had all my shit stolen.
I was robbed. I had all my shit stolen. When I was at Glastonbury Festival, I camped right next to Idris Elba and Fatboy Slim.
Ooh.
I was backstage. And also, when I was younger, I was in the talented and gifted class, and I was considered for Mensa.
Ooh, they're really good. Fuck.
Yeah.
Did you make a note of what they were?
Vietnam, Glastonbury, gifted and talented.
Okay. Okay, so I've got my first question.
Okay.
Actually, no. Right, so this isn't my question. But this is what I was going to say. I was going to ask him how you got your tickets for backstage Glastonbury. However, I happen to know that the other day you went to a really posh Cambridge dinner because you know people. Yeah. So you could have just said that. Also, how did that go? Sorry, just a brief segue.
Oh, the Cambridge film was fantastic. It's really bizarre and incredible, and you're just surrounded by these insanely intelligent people. Cool. And you have to.
Did you argue Brexit?
I didn't argue Brexit.
Did you use the word salubrious?
I did use the word salubrious.
You did use salubrious.
Yes, I did use the word salubrious.
We bet that you'd have to do
when
one
the
of those
masters come in, everyone has to stand, and then they say something in Latin, and everyone replies in Latin, and
you're just there salubrious.
I'm just there so very salubrious. No, it's fantastic. And as to answer your question, how I got free Glastonbury tickets backstage because my uncle organises the Silver Haynes music part. Silver Haynes is is the biggest dance part of Glastonbury.
Okay,
it's a section, and he runs that. So I get free tickets every year. Spicy.
What's the IQ limit for Mensa?
The IQ limit.
What have you got to get over to be?
Benchmark.
The benchmark.
To be considered,
right?
You have to have an IQ of over 140. Bear in mind the average is 100.
Yeah. What's this?
To be considered, when I did some of my tests, I averaged from about 138 to 151. So I was considered. I didn't get it, but I was considered because my teachers were pushing for it. So obviously having a Mensa student is apparently quite good.
Yeah, it does look good on the old the forms.
Okay. Mark, do you want to take your second question?
I'm just fact checking him.
I know, I'm pretty sure it is 140. Because this is just while he does that, I'm going to tell you everything I know about the IQ system.
I don't know.
So, I don't know.
But yeah, so the IQ system works on 100 is the average.
Yeah.
And then the standard deviation's 15 points.
Yeah.
And I think 90% of the population falls within 2 standard deviations on either side. So that means you've got, 5% below 70, 90% between 70 and 130, and then 5% over 130. And I think Mensa's even further beyond that. So
I took an IQ test and it said I was in the top 5% of the country. And it was an internet one, and I refused to do it again.
Horseshit.
Yeah. Just 100%.
Just cling on to that idea.
100%. Yeah, I'm never going back to that. I'm never taking another IQ test.
We can't go back to pre-5% days.
I'm okay with that.
I once downloaded a phone app which was like, take an IQ test, and in the end it told me I was a genius, but they misspelled the word genius, so I do not believe it in the slightest.
Moron.
What's the next question?
Okay, right, so what we got
you've
again?
had one each. You've had one each.
So you asked a question about Glasto, I asked one about Gifted and Talented.
Yeah.
And so we've still got Vietnam.
You see, knowing Eamonn, I would say I'm leaning towards that the Gifted and Talented is true. I genuinely believe, because he is an intelligent lad. I also believe that he got backstage for Glastonbury, but I don't think he was camping next to anyone hardcore.
That would be, I could see Eamonn doing that.
That's the slip, isn't it?
There's a root of truth, but he's extended it. Yeah.
And getting robbed in Vietnam, I feel like he would have mentioned.
Would Idris Elba be the kind of person to camp? Or Fatboy Slim, at least. Like, if they're...
What, together? It's 2-man.
They're in camper vans.
2-man.
Oh, okay, so they're not
I've seen... Okay. Like, I know backstage the download is all, like, fucking, like...
Oh, the RIP stuff. Yeah. That looks really cool, actually.
I think it's like $5,000 you can hire a fucking coach. It's got
So are you going to go guess the lie? Or...
No. I've got my next question. Okay, so I'm going to go with the... I'm going to go with the Vietnam thing.
Okay.
So what happened again? So you're in Vietnam.
He just said he got robbed, so I think we need to use our question to
elaborate. So everything got stolen off you. You said.
Yeah.
No.
So I had my shit stolen, which is basically like it was my phone. It was my phone.
Okay.
It's probably a bit of an exaggeration there, unintentionally, because that was literally all I had on me that day. I was waiting for the bus to go to the uni, and it was quite crowded. platform when a guy kept on barging into me when everyone tried to get on, because everyone's kind of like zergs into the bus.
Yeah.
He grabbed me, pulled me back, reached in my pocket, and then pushed me forward. And then it was gone, and I was kind of like, oh. And you couldn't tell who it was because it's
crowded.
It's crowded, and he did it so swiftly that it could have been anyone. Because to other people, if anyone saw it, it was me being just nudged and budged.
Yeah.
Getting on the bus.
You said platform.
Oh, probably slipped the time. It wasn't even a platform. It's just side of the road.
You said platform.
Yeah, I was imagining a train as you were describing it, and then I realized you said
and
bus
then you
at
said
the beginning.
bus.
Ooh.
Bus, platform, bus. Oh!
I've got my question.
Yeah, you got your question. I think I know what I'm going to go for, though.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the Vietnam one.
Really? I was going to go Glasgow.
Oh, really?
I was going to go Glasgow, yeah.
Right. How did you get your phone back, or
No,
did the
never
insurance
got
company
No.
cover you? Or
So
did you
I
just find anyone?
had I had insurance with Virgin, and I got like the all cover one, but apparently the one thing they didn't cover was mobile phone, because apparently you had to have a separate insurance bit for that. That sucked. It sucked balls, particularly because I paid for like Virgin Black, which was like one of the high tier insurance ones,
Yeah.
and they didn't cover it. I didn't get my phone back. Thankfully, my housemate Callum lent me his iPhone 4 because he had loads of spare phones on him, so I just used that. I actually used that until I got the job here, where I then splashed out and got the new S7 Edge.
You see, they've got lots of spare phones. I'm imagining a man in a trench coat opening it up, and there's just loads of phones.
You want some
all the drug dealer phones.
You want some goods?
I think the level of detail in.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Glasgow.
I'm going to go Glasgow.
Okay.
As the lie.
As the lie.
Just to clarify, in case anyone's forgotten that it's 2 truths and 1 lie.
Yeah, so Glasgow. I'm gonna lock in my answer as Glastonbury as the lie.
Are you locking him? Well, I feel like I'm going to take this as a compliment because the lie was the Mensa one.
Really?
The lie was the Mensa one.
What? I dismissed that like right at the beginning. I was just like, no.
I'm taking that as a massive compliment.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
No, I've never been considered for Mensa. I was never really gifted and talented.
Really?
No,
I think
never.
my understanding of it is all you need to do is go to one of the Mensa sites, take their IQ test, and then if you're above 140, you can just pay to be a part of it.
Yeah, but he said he scored put him forward.
Yeah, no, that's what I think. Because that was my understanding.
Extra
I don't think Mensa takes any kids, do they?
No, they do. They do. I think they can take kids if they're exceptional.
Yeah, there's an episode of The Simpsons where Lisa joins.
Huh.
But yeah, that was the lie. That was the lie.
Son
That was
of
the
a
lie.
bitch.
I have indeed camped beside Fatboy Slim and Iris Elba, and I did have some shit stolen. It was a slip of the tongue, same platform. I was just on the side of a road.
All right. I mean, yeah, sure. We've lost our first game. All right. So thank you very much, Eamonn.
Thank you very much for having me.
Obviously, good luck picking your olives.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be bizarre.
We'll send you all the updates when 50 Shades
I
comes
cannot
out
wait
and
for all like the
utter
cum stains that
chaos.
you're going to find on this.
So much cum.
So much cum and juice.
It's going to be bleak.
Do us a favour, listeners out there, if you come to see 50 Shades of Grey, please
Bring your own tissues.
Bring your own tissues and dispose of them
or
yourself.
just don't.
Or the very least swallow. Please.
No one marries a spitter.
No one marries a spitter. That's not good material.
I was going to say just be courteous to the cinema staff, but yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, and Mark and I usually just don't swallow. Bring your own
Swallow.
tissues.
Yes, no, thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Eamonn.
Thank you very much for having me. It was
Obviously,
awesome.
good luck.
Also, this is our first episode that we've been doing on our brand new
Blue Yeti
mic.
microphone, yeah.
So hopefully you guys are noticing a
Spike in the audio.
massive
My God, I can
increase
hear
in
them
audio
now.
quality. You can hear us. There's just a lot of issues with the old microphone, which was an
cool.
instrument mic.
Would you like to go with our brand new sign off?
No, first I'm just need to do a quick plug. So we've now got a Bandcamp page as well, so we're going to start uploading stuff to there. So my understanding is that you can either just listen to it for free off the website, or if you like, you can pay, I think it's like $1, and you can just download the audio file, and you can have it, you can listen to it on the go.
It's not bad, not bad.
So,
So,
yeah, whether it's us doing...
is there any way of like linking Bandcamp and Patreon?
I'm not idea.
No.
Are they two
not.
separate
I think
Yeah, I
they're
think
they're two separate things. Go with Patreon, I'd say.
I think Patreon...
We have
we've
got
we got
Patreon.
that, we got
It's Patreon's more the... it's a subscription, and then you get...
Oh, is
like,
Bandcamp
loads
just
of
like a
content.
one-off?
Where Bandcamp, if you want to... If you're going on holiday and you want to just take one of the podcast audios, or if we do something... We could do a specific thing for it. Yeah, we could do it that way. But yeah, so we've got a new Bandcamp. We've also got the Patreon, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram,
everything.
And maybe a Snapchat if I can be asked, but probably not.
Snapchat's far too much effort.
That's a lot of it. You got to take pictures.
Yeah, it's can't point and click.
Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. And our new sign off.
I believe this. I believe this with like 100% of my heart.
Say it.
Mandalorians over midichlorians because midichlorians shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
Damn
That's
straight.
good. That's good.
Damn
Very
straight
good.
they shouldn't. Alright, yeah. Thank you very much, guys. We will see you in a week.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to start releasing them fortnightly.
See you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks. Thanks, Ed.
Alright, boys, girls, fantastic freaks. Here we are with our pick of the week. I think we're going to go with Kubo.
Yeah.
Kubo
and the 2 strings.
Kubo and the 2 strings. Don't buy 3 strings. It's a massive Chinese rip-off. 2 strings is 100% the best version. It came out as one of the first films we showed in our cinema. Yeah. It was fantastic.
Some people are saying... who's behind it again?
Huh?
The studio behind it.
Ah, fuck. They reckon it's the next Studio Ghibli, don't they?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Who is it, though? I don't know. Someone. Just put it in later and post it.
Yeah, we'll do. But yeah, it's out on DVD now, so definitely advise you go and pick it up.
It's fun for all the family, man. I mean, if it is for kids, it's a little bit tricky in some places, but still, absolutely fantastic film. Couldn't recommend it more.
Yeah.
Such a good film. So much better than Thomas the Tank Engine. All right.
Although it doesn't have the voice of a beetle in it. It has an actual beetle.
It has I
hate myself.
cheers, folks. Catch you later.